Hi everyone, I'm MaryAnn. I'm a visual artist and voice coach from Singapore, currently in Singapore, and welcome to another installment of my weekly vlog series, Find Your Voice. So this is where I share whatever I have learned and whatever I'm still learning in my singing journey, not just as a singer but also as a voice coach, as a singing instructor, in the hopes that it could shed more light about what this process is really all about. Because taking singing classes isn't really about singing. It's about something greater than that, which is about our self expression, our ability to connect with the people around us, our ability to impact the world around us. And ultimately, it is about finding your capital V voice, which is whatever that thing is that you are going to express over the course of your entire lifetime. And then when you look back at the end of the road, it's like, oh wow, that was what it was really all about. That was what my life was really all about, what I have been expressing through the way I live my life. Yeah, that's what I call the capital V voice. So as an artist, as a singer, as a voice coach, there's a lot of things around expression that I'm really passionate about, and it is kind of my life's work to figure out how best to express myself and yeah, to express whatever is there within me. And I don't know why I feel that's my calling, but I just know that I'm here to express whatever there is. And that's also why I'm making these vlogs, so that I can express and share with you what I've learned. So here in Singapore, I'm part of a personal development and coaching community where there are like transformational programs that we can do to work on ourselves. And there's also like smaller groups where members of this community kind of come together and we work on different projects in our lives, and we kind of support each other through this journey. And so the leader of my group, he recently encouraged us to start sharing more with each other, like in our WhatsApp channel, like share more of your realizations, share your stories, and your wins, your challenges, whatever it is, just share more with the group. Because that whole process of sharing, it's like the more you share, the more you see, the more we reach out into the world, and the more we create some sort of impact in the world. And not just that, like it does something for us too. So intellectually I understood whatever he was saying, but emotionally and all that, I was just like, hey, like I don't understand. I don't really understand. I don't really see what that's about. And this is where it inspired me for today's topic, right? Which is that a lot of times, when we do want to reach out into the world, when we want to share something with the world, when we want to interact somehow with the world, there is a part of us that kind of holds us back, right? And that part of us tends to be kind of like apologetic, even embarrassed, or some people might say they're shy. And this is a very common psychological barrier towards self-expression and towards reaching out and sharing whatever it is that we want to share with the people around us. And this has a lot to do with it could be a cultural thing. It could be, your upbringing in the household that you live in, that maybe it wasn't very supportive of you expressing yourself. It could be, specific instances in your life too, where you really tried to be vulnerable and reach out and share something and you got rejected. Or it backfired, whatever it is. So a lot of these experiences in our lives stop us from really powerfully standing in our power and saying, this is who I am, this is what I want to say, and and I'm just gonna say it. And a lot of times, even if we want to do that, that kind of apologetic, embarrassed, shy side of us would kind of hold us back and not really allow us to fully express our message and fully get that across. And yes, these are psychological barriers. Yes, it's deeply rooted in your psyche and all that, but they're not impossible to break through. And one of the ways of actually breaking through them is to just keep reaching out. Like just keep putting yourself out there, keep expressing whatever it is you want to express, keep sharing whatever it is you want to share, to the point that it no longer becomes awkward, to the point that it no longer becomes embarrassing, to the point that it no longer, you're no longer shy about it. And this is not something that would magically change and transform overnight. This is something that we have to consistently practice, because whatever psychological barriers you have towards your expression, the embarrassment, the shyness, that sticks with you. And the more we allow that to have power over us, the less we're able to reach out and express ourselves and to interact with the world the way we want to, and to create an impact in the world the way we want to. And the older we get too, the more fixated we become in the psychological barriers that we have. And that's why it is harder for people who are older to push past their comfort zone and to really step out of it. And this is why we're also especially inspired when they do that, because somehow in our mind we also have this thinking, right, that old people are a certain way. And where does that really come from? I think for a lot of us, we grow up seeing older people and seeing senior citizens being very fixated on the way they live their lives, being what we call set in our ways, right? And there's a saying, right, you can't teach old dog new tricks, and that comes from somewhere. That comes from people being fixated, and because they don't push past their comfort zone, they don't push past their psychological barriers to reach out into the world, and they become very fixated in staying in their own comfort zone and in their bubble. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but if you are someone who really wants to make a difference in the world, if you want to be one of those crazy lively old people that all the young people are like, oh my gosh, I want to be that when I grow up. Like, if you want to be that kind of person, it's not something that just happens magically. It's something that we have to constantly push past those psychological barriers and constantly reach out and constantly stretch ourselves and put ourselves out there into the world and express what we need to express and say what you really mean, and share whatever it is you want to share, sing the songs that you want to sing, and to put that out there into the world and to create whatever it is that you want to create. And and the only way to get past these barriers is to just keep doing that, and to just keep doing that, and to just keep doing that, to the point that the embarrassment and the shyness and the awkwardness and the voices in your head telling you that it's not good enough, you're not going to make it, why you want to be so attention seeking or whatever. Like, we all have these things, we all have these voices that tell us these things. Nobody is the exception here, we all have it to some extent. But the key difference why some people make it and why some people don't really make it, and why some people are known for the impact they create in the lives of others and in the world, and some people just continue wishing that they could do that. I mean, I'm speaking for myself here too, because I wish I could do that. I'm struggling really hard to push past my own barriers to be able to do that. And the only difference is that the people who do make an impact is because they keep going at it. They keep pushing their barrier, they keep pushing their comfort zone, they keep putting themselves out there. And that is really the only way to go about it, is to keep pushing at that barrier until it finally breaks and it doesn't hold you back anymore. And and it is a practice. It is, and that's why I say the singing journey is really a journey. It's an ongoing journey, and the singing is really not just about singing. It's about really allowing yourself to push past these barriers such that you can authentically be yourself and share what you need to share and create the impact that you really want to create, and be able to express and communicate whatever it is that truly matters to you, to the people who matter to you the most. So if you have enjoyed today's video, subscribe to my channel on YouTube, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments, or you can also directly message me through any of my links, social media, whatever, that you see in the write-ups attached to these videos. And I will see you next week.